me coming like an intruder. I give you last a lesson of verbal combat with ill pen maneuvers. Stuff through ya when the spoon hit the teacup. You wake up, welcome to my class. Just listen, don't speak. Visualize what you can't see. Call me the rap Bruce Lee. Wing chun techniques. Let the flow creep like you deep that hasn't eaten for weeks. I've been fast no sleep, but y'all been sleeping on me like hoopers on New York Park benches. Homie, I never left the trenches. Plotting patiently and calm with my ears open listening to these culture vultures, praising worldly sculptures. Man, they wearing skinny jeans and Maybelline. Sipping up so much lean, they dying to reach their dreams. Run around like, hey, Miss Thing. I'm like, hey, yo, son, pass the crown to the king. You dig? Get your hair right, y'all doing it wrong. Boys make the beat, now that's a dope song. Get your game tight, homie, not your things. This is grown man rap. Get your sweet 16. Get your hair right, y'all doing it wrong.
Anyway. All right, everybody, welcome to My Brother's Keeper. I am Calvin Cleaver, and I am joined with the cast of My Brother's Keeper. Here we got, y'all go ahead, fellas, shout it out.
Damon in the house, how you doing? And so we doing out here, much love.
Reggie Harris, much love and peace.
DesSwoir Cleaver, much love.
Yes, and of course, we always try to make it a point to keep it with what's popping, what's trendy, what's dear to our heart, what hits close to home for us. So let's jump right into this episode and begin with Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake, for those of you watching who don't know, was the depending on the perception, he was the victim of police shooting, or he was the unfortunate victim of a police shooting. I guess
either way, a victim.
I guess you could say, but I think who wants to kick this one off? Honestly, if this
go ahead, Calvin, you go ahead and kick it off.
Well, what I got here, what I brought to y'all to the table for my point with Jacob Blake is just a timeline of events and facts. So we know this is, and what we know, if anything that I say, you believe it's misinformation, please do stop me. The officers were dispatched to the location due to a complaint that James Blake was attempting to steal the caller's keys or vehicles. Have y'all heard that?
I heard. Yeah, go ahead. All
right, and then the officers on the way, they were aware. It's not like they didn't know. They were aware of Jacob Blake's open warrant for felony sexual assault, 3rd degree, before they arrived on the scene. Which I think that's key. That could go to mindset.
Right. Go ahead.
Not sexual assault. He wasn't going to have sex with him, so it was.
No, it's an open warrant. It's not forget what it was. He had an open warrant.
Right,
which means have a warrant, which means regardless of what the situation that they came there for, they were going to have to eventually arrest him.
Right.
Because he had a
but
warrant.
That doesn't mean they had to be scared. It's just an arrest.
Hold on. We're not going to scare. Nobody said they were scared.
Go ahead,
Nothing I read to you said that they were scared.
Go ahead, Vin.
Nothing said they were scared. Hold on. Let me go through this timeline of events.
Saying that to say their state of mind, but whatever. It was all to a state of mind, but continue.
Well, it's a state of mind knowing, okay, we're going to have to apprehend someone. Okay, so knowing that going in, it's like then you would know that, to me, that brings up a case in point that we're not looking at a situation to where there would not have been any type of altercation, so to speak, between Jacob Blake and the officers. Okay, they were responding to an event, but they also he had a warrant, so they knew after they dealt with that, they were going to have to arrest the man. And here is some misinformation that was sent out immediately, which when we all saw the video, this is something that we all heard. I think y'all correct me, but Blake was not breaking up a fight between two female officers, or between two females when officers arrived on the scene. Okay. Did y'all hear that he was breaking up a fight?
I heard both stories.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Okay, so that's false. That he was breaking up a fight. That's fake news. The SUV that we saw in the videos,
just
that was
false.
Not his.
That ain't fake news. It's just false.
False.
If it wasn't true,
false.
it's
falsified.
Just false.
Fake.
Right.
Fake news. Because we'll get into that later. But
yeah, continue.
Fake news. The SUV was not his. That to me, that's irrelevant. Mr. Blake was not unarmed. He was armed with a knife. The officers did not see the knife initially. The officers first saw him holding the knife when they were on the passenger side of the vehicle. All right, and the video that we saw shows Jacob Blake with a knife in his left hand when he comes around the front of his car before he opened the door. The officers had guns drawn and repeatedly told him to drop the knife. Of course, he did not comply.
Now the video I saw, I heard them say, drop the knife, but I was looking to see where the knife was and in which hand it was in. The dude that videotaped this, his own word said he heard them say, drop the knife. And he said, what knife? I don't see a knife. They did later find a knife in the floorboard of the front seat, but that was not on him. That was on the floorboard.
He had the knife. He had the knife. He had the knife.
No, had the knife means he had on him walking around. Going to get the knife means it was not on him. So either he had it or it was on him.
He had it. He had the knife.
Means you don't have a weapon on you. Was he unarmed or wasn't he unarmed?
In his left hand when he rounded the front car. Hold on, because I didn't really put these in order here because they tried to talk to Blake. He was uncooperative. The officers issued verbal commands. He was not compliant. The officers did go hands-on with Jacob to gain compliance and control. The officers disengaged, drew their tasers, issued commands that he was going to get tased if he didn't comply. Because of his non-compliance, one officer tased him, but it did not incapacitate Jacob Blake. The others, they both went hands-on, and at that time, the situation escalated. Jacob Blake actually put one of the officers in the headlock. The second officer then tased him. Did not incapacitate him.
Where's video of all of that? Like, where do those comments come from? Where are there witnesses to say that there's
two videos? There's two videos. There's one that everybody saw initially.
My whole thing is Jacob Blake is what? 5'8", 150 pounds. You know what I'm saying?
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
Yo, yeah, it's not. It's not irrelevant.
Hold on, bro.
Irrelevant.
That's not irrelevant at all.
Irrelevant.
How is that irrelevant?
How is that irrelevant, dog?
How is that irrelevant?
And who are you to say what's irrelevant and what's relevant? That's another question.
Let me tell you why it's irrelevant. Me, myself, if there's two people trying to wrestle me and I don't want to be handled, they better have packed a lunch. And mind you, we're also talking about two officers in this politically, racially charged climate who honestly are scared to even do their jobs because of everything that is going on.
Because
they don't know whether
they're scared to do their jobs.
Be a cop.
No.
Hold up.
Not scared to do their jobs because they're not able to do their jobs.
Bring it down.
Scared to do their jobs because of the backlash that they might receive for even if they do it right. They might receive backlash.
Teachers going through the same thing. Teachers going through the same thing. Teachers going through the same thing. We cannot compare apples and oranges. That excuse ain't used for teachers. We cannot compare apples and oranges. Teachers is not law enforcement. Teachers not go to their jobs every day. Hear me out. Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Irrelevant.
So no, it's not. Let me explain it to you. So if we put this type of standard on teachers and say that, well, hey, you chose to do this teaching job and da-da-da-da-da. Well, it don't matter if you fear for your life for Corona. It don't matter that, you got to come up with all these innovative ways of teaching for less pay and all this type of stuff. Here's the thing. If we don't make excuses for teachers and we hold their nose to the fire, why in the Randy Watts? Excuse my French. Why can't we hold somebody that's carrying somebody's life and death in their hands to the same standards as we do teachers?
I see where you're coming from, but before let's move forward then, because we haven't even talked about what was right and what's wrong.
Okay, right.
So we coming from. We haven't talked about what's right and what's wrong because now listen to this. For me, I didn't bring any facts to present to these questions to present on my brother's keepers. What I brought was questions. So I'm gonna ask each of you brothers individually some questions, and I would like to hear your answers individually. Yep. Number one, what did the officers do wrong?
I'm gonna say the only thing they did wrong was shooting him. But I look like from the stories I hear, they did everything I guess that an officer would be allowed to do, I would say. but they crossed the boundaries when 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 officers can't stop this little man.
No. Hey, no. I gotta stop you. Don't exaggerate the facts. The facts was there was two officers.
That's the video that I saw.
No, you didn't. You didn't see it in the video with 3, 4, 5 officers.
So don't
How many of y'all saw a video with 3, 4, 5 officers?
Cut me up like I didn't cut
I
you
saw
off.
at least 3 officers.
3 officers.
Y'all, if I seen 2 officers, that's more than enough with guns pointed at them to apprehend a human of his stature.
So you said the officers, what the officers did wrong was shoot him.
Just 2.
So you said that what the officer did wrong was shoot him.
The 7 shots in the back was the only thing that I've seen wrong.
Damon, what do you believe the officers did wrong?
You couldn't apprehend them any other way. You couldn't apprehend them any other way.
They tried this. Hold on. Damon, what did you feel the officers did wrong?
Man, I feel like that they didn't display a better patience of getting a subject apprehended. I feel like instead of killing that man, shooting 7 times in the back, you know what I mean? I feel like before he got to that point, I mean, because we all have seen videos of.
Well, let's stay.
Let's
stay to the case.
No. Because
every situation is different.
Every situation is different, you know what I mean? But everybody's still human, dog.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So before having to kill a person, before he even got to his vehicle, he should have been tackled, apprehended, tased, you know what I'm saying, and cuffed. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're trained to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's my personal opinion.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time he shouldn't even gotten to the driver's side of the vehicle, able to get open the door and get in.
That's what I would say.
Before we got to that point, he should have been down.
I would say I agree.
And my personal opinion, and if they felt threatened with a knife that I did not see, and they said that
nobody did.
That nobody has seen.
Nobody.
They're saying it's not. It wasn't even a knife. And they also said it was a gun as well. You know what I'm saying? So there's 3 different things.
That's fake news because we're black, so we all have guns.
I'm not saying it's fake news. I'm just saying it's media.
I'm saying that.
Well, if we check the track record, Damon, unfortunately, we see it media. It's most of it is can't trust it. Well, Reggie, what do you feel?
I feel you too. I feel you, Vin. Listen, my whole point is, even though police. Okay, you said they're scared to do their job. However, they're afraid to do what I'm saying because it stems from the brutality. We go back to Rodney King. We'll go further back. Let's go to Emmett Till. We'll go further back. You know what I'm saying? You know why we know police even how are police even formed in the first place? Police was formed, to keep the slaves in line. My point is
that's irrelevant in this.
No, it's not.
Man.
I'm saying that my point is
it's only irrelevant, Calvin, if that same mindset was not being used today. Just like it was back then it would be irrelevant.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's a whole different.
That's what you say, but there's 3 Negroes on this panel that say otherwise.
The majority doesn't necessarily equate the truth of the matter.
I mean, we just gotta go back to the beginning. Of time. You know what I'm saying, where we have point blank period. We've been pinpointed out and hunted as black men, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's not changing, or it hasn't changed.
That's not. To me, that's a false narrative.
Okay,
Reggie, what do you have to say with officers? Yeah. What you feel the officers did wrong?
So first of all, I want you guys to go look up that Stanford experiment with law enforcement. It was a classroom experiment in Stanford, and they did this years ago, where they gave certain power of students over the other.
That's irrelevant to this one too.
No, here's the relevance of it. Because
you know about this, Calvin. How you know it's already irrelevant?
I know what I'm familiar with the experiment. My apologies. I'm familiar with the experiment.
Yeah, because
you are too, Des. I believe you even.
It was called something different for me, and it was used on students.
The Stanford prison experiment.
Format, in a race format.
Prison experiment.
Yeah, the Stanford prison experiment.
Okay, so that's a bit different. My apologies.
No.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, the Stanford prison experiment. So look that up. I challenge anyone to, if you don't think mindsets matter, these people, they were white kids that were friends with other white kids. And when they had to do this whole thing, because of the empowerment that was drilled into the people that were officers' heads, because of what was drilled in their heads, they felt
they had
to mistreat people that they once thought was friends because of the power that they had. And when you hear the feedback of it,
that's now how many experiments of that kind have there been since then? How many experiments of that kind has there been since then?
They've been banned because nobody, since that experiment.
Those experiments were banned. The non-harmful experiments were banned.
Yes, because people wouldn't sign up for it. When people actually look at that experimentation, some people had mental health issues after that experiment.
It was
like, look at the interviews from it. Like, when you look at the interviews from it and they talk about the dynamic and kind of what it did to them psychologically, that's a very dangerous experiment.
Now tell me how that experiment.
Not just people who they picked out and separated. These are real cops.
Yeah, a lot of them they were in the classroom. Said they knew each other. A lot of them were friends. They were close, but they were separated. It said that you're going to be this, and this.
Yes,
it was pretty eye-opening. It was an eye-opening experiment, I must confess.
And what was eye-opening about it?
And what's eye-opening is that
no, not you, Reggie. Calvin. What was eye-opening about it?
The feeling and the thought processes one could get when a label is put on them as if they're better than or less than. And that's on both sides. That was eye-opening to me.
Yep. And so here's the thing. This goes back to the mindset of an officer practicing less patience with a black man than they probably would with somebody that's white of the same stature.
I just don't understand how what you're talking about, which is
wait, let me explain the whole mindset, the whole process. Think about even in sports. Let's look at Tom Brady compared to Cam Newton. Same type of quarterback, same type of expression. They both walk up down the sideline cussing their guys out. One gets called cocky and arrogant, the other one gets called passionate.
Passionate.
We've constantly seen subconscious view, like even the headlines about when Tamir Rice was killed, compared to
a fake gun
of this little young man that decided that he was going to be a hero
with a real gun
and protect some businesses and stuff
and protect himself. I know
he wasn't protecting himself.
Okay, I mean you obviously didn't see the same video then.
I've seen
this man was on the ground getting beat.
I understand that, but he went to that location for that situation.
Hey, just because he went to a location, that means he deserves to get beat?
I'm not saying he does.
That's what I'm saying.
So
why we're justifying?
If you're a 17-year-old boy going with an AR-15, you're saying to a rally.
Okay, so would it have been different if he was a 21-year-old boy with an AR-15 legally?
That's my point. The point
but
is,
he wasn't. But he wasn't.
His motives was Randy Watts from the beginning. His motive. He was going there to kill somebody. And that's why I say I hope he get his butt busted in prison. I hope somebody beat the hell out of him.
His motive
that's wild, man. That's wild. Do you believe he would have shot somebody even if you wouldn't have been attacked?
We don't know.
Bruh, this
exactly.
dude
So how can we even begin to speak to his mindset?
If he was going for
a policeman,
we have seen. No. That's the thing. The gun conversation is over, thankfully. The gun conversation should be over because we are now able to see within this last week how much we all probably should be strapped. Because
we should
be strapped anyway.
Nobody's saying we shouldn't. But you don't go I don't go to I would not go to Harrison, Arkansas, and stand in front of Walmart with an AK-47 and expect my Randy Watts not to come at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
You think he went out? You think he went to
kill somebody?
You're talking as if this kid went to the park and just sat on the swing and enjoyed the breeze and nothing's going on and it's calm.
He was there. It wasn't his business.
I can't even speak to it. I can't even speak to exactly why he was there.
Okay, Calvin, you can't even speak to why he was there.
No. Hold on. I can only give you what the story is. One side is saying he went there to shoot somebody, and the other saying he was there, had been talked to, and families of friends had gotten people to stay there and protect their place of business, which he has seen.
A 17-year-old boy.
Why?
What, a 17-year-old boy?
Are you
protect your business?
Why would somebody have to protect their place of business in this climate right now? You got to be outside your mind.
He's a kid, man.
He's a kid.
Why would somebody?
Why would I want somebody? Why would I want a 17-year-old?
Why would I send my son to protect my
Why?
It's my business
For
to
real.
take that as a man.
Come on, man.
Come on, cuz.
Maybe they
point,
paid.
dog.
I don't know. All right, let's.
I
Okay,
do.
so
That's
let's stop.
our point right there. That's our point.
Time out. Time
I
out. I
Go
get
ahead,
you.
chill,
We
chill,
can
chill,
go back
chill.
and forth with that one because that one
No, we
don't
can't.
even know. There's too much up in the air. So let's stick to the case in point with this Jacob Blake. Kyle Rittenhouse, we can do Kyle Rittenhouse another day.
Yeah.
Let's
But
do
No,
Jacob
it's fine.
Blake.
No, we can do it. We can do it today because it's part of Jacob Blake.
Now that's the dope song. Get your game tight, homie, not just